Welcome to the Perspective Podcast. My name is Akhilesh, and now we have Dr. Divya Rathod, founder and CEO, Silvery Nanos. How do you describe yourself?
um, a polymath. That is a new word which we can add on to our.
What is a polymath?
So, polymath is something where someone gets to learn or is very keen to learn everything. So, I am good at singing, dancing, or doing multiple things. Basically, I can't say multi-talented, but yeah, doing multiple things because that's what an entrepreneur needs, or a scientist needs, or anyone needs in their life. So, we should try everything in our lives like an experiment. So, yeah, I like to experiment my life.
What was your thought process while coming up with Silvery Nanos?
So Silvery Nanos was initiated in actually 2014. So I was a student of microbiology and I suffered from UTI. I was playing football for university, and because there were like no toilets at that time, my house is very near to my college, but because we were playing, so we couldn't. We have to use the public toilets what we were having, and plus we were not because I didn't wanted to use public toilets, so I used to squat and pee sometimes, or sometimes I used to avoid that I'll go home and I'll pee, and because of that I suffered from UTI and E. coli infection, and that was like 2 months I was suffering really badly, and I lost 10 kgs. Plus, I was admitted in the hospital, Sanjeevani Hospital, Lokhandwala, and I was away from my study. So I was a studious girl. I really wanted really don't want to miss lectures. I have my attendance like 99% attendance all the time.
So you must be getting the certificates
Yes,
which
so
you
I
100% attendance for
yeah,
everything.
so attendance was very like I wanted to learn. I'm not more of reading books or something, but I like to grasp knowledge by teachers and everything. Whatever they teach in terms of that, the frequency is really good. So I lost 10 kgs. I couldn't go to college like first year and second year of college. Um, Almost 2 3 months I was off, and microbiology is something where you have a lot of experiments. It's more of a practical subject rather than a theoretical subject. So I missed a lot on that particular part, and I was very sad. And I was doing dual degree at that time, so I was doing microbiology as well as advanced diploma in biotechnology. So I think in the morning there used to be microbiology practicals and classes, and then in the evening there used to be biotechnological classes. So I almost missed 2 months of both the lectures and practicals. So I really found it really bad. And plus the internal immune system which got collapsed. So for a woman or for a girl at that particular time, because you are already skinny and you're losing 10 kgs, you are the self-confidence goes low. The able to, the what do you say, if a person is strong internally, then they can come back and fight, and can actually face the world in terms of anything or of whatever age you can say. So I really felt that this is happening. So I did a little bit of research. So every year 150 million women are suffering from UTI. And now, because पहले के ज़माने में it used to be like the women used to be at home and they used to use public toilets, or they never used to use public toilets much. But now we are going to colleges, the women are out, they're using public toilets where a person, like, suppose if I'm having a UTI, and if I'm just spreading, I'm using the loo, and there are microorganisms on that particular platform of the toilet seat or internal of the toilet, the E. coli specifically doubles in 21 minutes. So the doubling time of E. coli is really fast. So suppose even if I am having E. coli and I have left a drop of my urine on the table, on the pot, and that will multiply very fast, and the next second person will have a chance of taking that particular microorganisms onto their body. Second thing, if because of this particular what do you say, um, uh, unhygienic practices of public toilets, because public toilets are not being cleaned, and very if you see Indian public toilets or any kind of public toilets, even outside, I have traveled Europe and everywhere, the public toilets are not being cleaned or hygienic, because you can't sanitize them after every use, and everyone cannot take a pee safe and sanitize the toilets. So if you talk about masses, like everyone, basically everyone's health is very important. You can't use sanitizers every time. You can't disinfect the toilet every time after every use, because it will also harm the environment, as well as people have to be there all the time. So I was like, this is a very big problem, because you have to save time, you have to save environment, you have to save women's health, You have to save, that perspective of squatting and peeing, because when you squat and pee, your bladder doesn't gets empty on, like women body is something like that, that you have to literally sit and pee so that the bladder gets empty. And whenever there is urine, then you can get infections if you're holding urine specifically, because we don't want to go to public toilets in that particular fear. So there is vaginal infections because of the pads. So women are gets in, like, every month they have their periods. And working women, or women going to colleges, or women or girls going to schools, and and because they don't want to use public toilets, they will keep the pads for 6 hours, they'll keep the pads for 4 hours, like 6 to like whatever time they are working on. And that's, creates a lot of microorganisms growth in the pad itself, and then it gets into vagina, and then you get vaginal infections. So I have contracted both vaginal infections in 2021, and in 2014 I got contracted with UTI specifically. So I really thought that this is a very big problem, because we have a fear of using public toilets because of the smell, because of the, disinfections or something like that. We have to do something like this for 150 million women who are actually suffering from UTI every year. So almost every woman has suffered uh, through UTI in their lifetime, one or the other time, or a vaginal infection. So it's a huge number. And we are talking about women equality. We are talking about SDG 5 as such by UNDP. So whenever we are talking about empowering women, I think first we have to empower them from within. So if we are strong from within, if we are confident from within, I think we can, go out to the public or go out to the world and showcase our talent. So this is something what I have thought at that particular time. And when I did some research, I got to know, okay, that 150 million women are suffering, and it's a huge problem. And I told my professor, and because I was very new to microbiology, I was very new to nanotechnology. So I told my professor to help me out with this particular problem, that how we can solve it. And then we worked on silver nanoparticles specifically, and we created a paint. In a paint form, we created a product which was like simply you can apply it through brush. And we applied it on the toilets, and we had put it on the Wankhede Stadium, which is there. Yeah. So, but the point was that you cannot paint every toilet, right? Every public toilet. It's like not feasible. And but at that particular time, there was like it was a project. So normally, what we scientists do is we find out, yeah, we find out the solution, but it is always there in the black book. We don't take it to the market. We don't see the market fit. And now the entrepreneurial world has actually changed. Now there is an entrepreneurship word, or you can say the environment of entrepreneurship in India. Now it has been changed, but before, back then, now also, the scientists or people who are, into research, they just research about that particular thing, they put it in the black book, and they put it in the university. They don't take it out to the world, or they don't take it out to the public, real use with the public. They don't execute. Yeah, they don't execute that. So that's what the major problem in colleges and schools and universities, I feel. Even in PhD also, if you are doing a PhD for 4 to 5 years, you don't execute that in your real world. You're putting your 5 years of your time in PhD or in any of the degree. I think if you're doing something, then you should take it ahead to the next level. Yes. And even if it is failing, or if it is, we should at least, yeah, it can be worth it. And like, it is an experiment. Basically, your life is an experiment. So if you have experimented, if you have invested time in that particular thing, you should go ahead with it. So yes, that solution was actually like a black book, and we just kept it. We presented in one of the conference where Abdul Kalam sir and the Narendra Modi sir was also there, our current prime minister. And it was Indian Science Congress. So Indian Science Congress was happening 2015 in Mumbai, Bandra. So we presented in under Mumbai University label, the pot. It was completely like a paint form, and we can paint it, and we can, it was antibacterial, antifungal, and it will be staying for 1 year, because if you're painting something onto the toilets, onto the pots, it is going to stay for a longer time. So we claimed that, and we presented that particular project, and we had a help of our PhD students as well as professors, and everyone was working on it. But later on, that was lost, because I wanted to do my master's. So I got into KM Hospital in ICMR Institute, NIH. So I shifted to masters, and I was more interested in research. So I started doing some other research. So it was lost for around 3 years. And like finally, when the entrepreneurial world came into India, basically the entrepreneurial society came into the India, with Startup India program. And there was this competition called Chancellor's Challenge. And that time I thought of, that I have worked on this particular problem, and it was my problem down like back then, and it was a huge problem which I should have taken ahead. But because of this career hustle, or I wanted to take degrees around me, so I didn't follow up on that. But NMIMS actually gave an opportunity, or Startup India itself, because NMIMS had AIC NMIMS, which is Atal Incubation Center, was been set up in NMIMS. So I would say Atal Incubation Center is something which has been put up by the government of India in every district. So NMIMS was what in Mumbai. NMIMS was the place where AIC was being set up, and in Bhainder there is one more place. So every district has one AIC. So I was very much fortunate that I was studying in NMIMS and AIC was being set up, and the what do you say, government of India was actually supporting entrepreneurship in that particular level. So I participated, and there were around 400 applicants. I got selected, and then yeah, suddenly I was the winner of what do you say, AIC NMIMS challenge, of Chancellor's challenge, and I got 5 lakh rupees. So with that 5 lakh rupees, because I knew the solution is not being properly formed and it have a lot of loopholes and everything. So with that 5 lakh rupees, I started from the scratch, and the whole formula was being completely new formula with complete, but with the same problem. The problem was same, but the formula was completely different, because now I had the experience of working with scientists, working in the lab on a different level, because I've done my masters, I was doing my PhD. So that experience helped me in terms of technology, that now this technology can be incorporated, and you can nanotechnology was blooming at that time, at this particular time. So then I formulated the whole formula again, and then I made it into a spray form, which you can see right now. This is a spray which you can apply on any kind of a surface. So it can be what do you say, a toilet surface, or any kind of a surface. And this was back 2018, which I did it. And yeah, that's how I tried to solve this particular problem. So now you can, any public toilets can be applied with Happy To. So Happy To can be applied to any kind of public toilets, which, with a simple spray, you just apply once on the toilet, you get infectionless and easy cleaning toilet for 1 month. So for 1 month, it will be a bacteriostatic. So yeah, and I'm a spiritual person, so I believe in Jainism, principles of Jainism. So we always say that we are not supposed to grow microorganisms. It's like uh, preventing is better than killing. That's what we believe in. So this formula helps to prevent the bacteria, the growth of bacteria. So if someone is actually now going to pee on the pot or on the seat by mistakenly, so that particular seat is now going to stop the bacterial growth. So it becomes bacteriostatic, what we called in microbiology, and plus bactericidal. So it is also effective in terms of viruses. We have tested with COVID virus. So it is 99.9% accurate, what you say, effective towards COVID-19 virus also, and towards the bacteria is what we are trying to solve the problem for. So yeah, that's all what I can say, the journey about the Happy Toe. And now we have around 14 products on the same principle, that we are creating a layer on any kind of a surface, which is trying to prevent the growth of bacteria, as well as it is saving the environment, because you don't have to use any harmful chemicals like phenyl or acids to clean the toilet as such, or any kind of a surface. So it's like prevention is better than cure. So you're saving water up to 55%. You're saving environment, because no harmful chemicals are going into the environment and harming the aquatic life. Plus you are saving people from UTI or vaginal infections or any kind of bacteria growing on the surface. And this formula was made in 2018, and suddenly COVID hit, and COVID had this uh, microbiological importance of microbiologists, basically. So we got recognized suddenly, that where are the microbiologists. And yes, at that time, my pre research, or whatever it was, what you can say, it was a luck, or whatever you can say, my efforts towards microorganisms in my previous work, showcased, and it was helpful for the people in COVID. So we supplied to Rasala Group, which is an Indian Army group. So we actually gave it to a lot of hospitals, because there was a lot of problems in factory setup, as well as working during COVID. So a lot of times my factory was shut because of some or the other things, or they want some or the other money from the factory, or XYZ things were happening. But then we kept on going. So we did a lot of, it was not more of you cannot say as a sales or something like that. Yeah, the sales went up, but at the same time I was able to help my country in terms of preventing the infections at a larger scale. So I think that was the fate of Happy to get onto the scale.
Can we combine engineers and PhD students with management students so that the PhD students can make a minimal viable product for their market as well?
I think this would be really good. So I talk about polymath. So polymath is someone where we can collaborate together and you can have different kinds of talents together. So me being a scientist, I have always worked and behind the lab or something. You can say inside the lab. I've never been to people and try to sell off my products or something like that. I was not much into marketing. I think I've changed my packaging itself for around 3 times and still I'm not satisfied with it. So I think when a person with scientific values or scientific idea comes with marketing, I think it will be a great combination together, like an engineer, with the business, because we a person can be really good at few things, but the point is if there is someone expert, like if there are 5 people and each one is expert in their own area, I think this can actually make a company, and that's how the company has been made. Because you have your own expertise, there are different expertise which comes in your company, and that's how you tackle the problem, or you make a company basically. So I think it will be a great idea if there is an engineer and business administration college together, and then they can collaborate and they can make projects together and showcase it to the world. Because India is now a growing economy, and I think we can be the best, and we can be the best in scientific projects, and we have the best minds, the best scientist minds actually. And innovation is always there because there are a lot of problems in India, and I think India is itself a biggest market. We are like 140 crores, like we are the biggest population, we are the highest population in the world. So we have the problems, we have solutions, we have the market, we have what do you say, the talent, the best engineering talents. I think if we use everything in one roof, under one roof, there's no one who can stop us. So yeah.
Did you interact with APJ Abdul Kalam sir?
To be frank, we didn't interacted with him. He had just come to the stall and we have just showcased him the product. Yeah.
So what questions did he ask you, if you remember?
Probably how much it would cost and will it solve the problem of every toilet. And at that particular time, we were like, we have to change the toilets because we had to install by painting it and we had to change it. So it was not a feasible solution at that particular time. And we are talking about painting the toilets, which is already used, is something which is not efficient. But yeah, if someone wants to inoculate, or the new toilets can be what you say, incorporate new toilets, then yeah, it was a very perfect solution. So our market was very much you can say very small, whoever are using, yeah, very very niche segment in terms of whoever wants to use a new toilet. But our problem was to solve the ongoing public toilet so that women don't get UTI, environment should not be harmed, and we can save water. So the solution was not at that particular fit time. So yes, I think.
Peter Thiel suggests that we should start with a niche segment and then expand into more products. So do you have a co-founder?
Okay, so my journey was like mountains. There were a lot of ups and downs, and there were a lot of people who had come in, and they had, I had this whole journey of experimenting people and trusting people. And then, many of them has actually left the company, taken, the advertisement or the marketing and the formulas, and then, started a new company. And
How did you deal with that?
that was like something which I'm really, grateful that I've learned so many things in my life. I would say that yeah, that the MBA and scientist combination. So I also had a partner, and then because everyone has their own. So I think nowadays people don't want to work together, or they feel that they are working under someone, or someone is being on the upper hand or something. I think there is a lack of confidence, or lack of confidence in the expertise. With this generation, I can say that everyone wants to be an individual. They don't want to be with the synergistic way of working. So whenever I started working, there was always the opposite person is okay, this I can also do it. I can take the formula from someone else, or I can build up, I can take for scientists like me. So the opposite person told me that there are a number of scientists like you. Okay, I can pick up any scientist and I can make the same formula. Okay, what you are doing. So to be frank, yes, you can do that. You can take n number of scientists from n number of chemical engineers. You can build up the same formula to solve the same problem. We don't have any problem. We will have a more community to solve that particular problem. But at the same time, if you are in a company, if you are trusting someone, if someone is trusting you, that trust has to be maintained. And I think that was not in the trust was not being maintained in many terms and many people. So they have come to the company, they have taken a lot of things, and they have left the company. They started their own company, and doing their own work. And it's completely fine. It's the law of nature. I understand, but I got to learn a lot of things from such kind of people and from such kind of experiences, that you cannot trust everything, and you're not supposed to overtell everything to everyone. That is something what and that's how the polymath also works. So I tried to become polymath, that I can do both marketing as well as little bit of marketing in my own area, and as well as I can do the scientific thing, because I've done innovation part, and now it's time to take it on the shores, or on the market shore. So yeah, I learned, and then I kept interns, and I kept people who are like under me. So now I have, like, my company is completely owned by me. Like, I'm the sole founder, and I have a co-founder, which is my mom. I don't have a co-founder which is an MBA or something like that, because I have little bit of trust issues in terms of I had experiences which was really bad. So yeah, he has to leave the company, and then I'm like the sole founder, and he has started his own company, which is really good, which is going very well in terms of nanotechnology itself. And I'm really proud that he's representing India in different fields. So yeah, but then it was an experience for me that yes, you can't hold people. You have to let them flow. And if you it's okay, like, to flow, but at the same time you have to be careful with your own things. So yeah,
What qualities do you look for in interns while hiring?
they should be great learner. So the learning capabilities is or the excitement capabilities of learning something new should be there if I am giving, because the company has its own setup. And if someone is coming to me as a digital marketing, or a intern from BBM or someone like that, then I will give them that one part of the company that which is taking care of digital marketing, which is like I have a office people marketing people in Malad. So someone matching their own skills. So and they have to learn new things, because starting my interns are something which they have to absorb first, then they can showcase their own ideas after learning things. So it's basically you have to learn ABCD first, and then you can make sentences, and then you can make what do you say, words out of it. But nowadays I feel a lot of interns or youngsters or millennials or Gen Z where I have worked with, they're very much confused and very much non-focused because of a lot of social media and their own personal life and a lot of involvement on mobile phones. So I have seen a lot of people where the work can be done in 5 hours, they are taking 5 days. And I have removed interns for that reasons. I have removed people for that reasons, because I know that this particular work, if been done with focus, can be done in 5 hours or 2 days basically. But they're taking 5 days because there's a continuous engagement with Instagram or social media in their own personal life, and they're not focused on towards much or towards work. So I feel that if you're doing work, you should do the work, and you should have this one particular time of 1 hour or half an hour to see and reply your messages, like, or 1 hour for your Instagram or something. Yeah, social media life is important nowadays. Everyone's life is important, and social media life has become a part of our life. So I feel, but then at the same time, if you are focusing only on that to showcase, because like, I think Gen Z is more towards everyone wants to become a TikToker or a real person, or want to make their own brand as a personality.
Want to become famous.
Yeah, they want to become famous, or what you can say, influencer, right? That they can earn from that influencing capabilities. But then at the same time, if you're taking something work, or if you're uh, going to a company to learn, or you're working under someone, you should absorb that energy. You can take that 1 hour or half an hour after work, and then you can post those things, or you can post things out after that. But at the same time, if you're continuously clicking things, and you're trying to make people what you're doing at the instant thing, I think it is little bit not good for the company.
There is a FOMO of Gen Z. They have a fear of missing out. They see someone famous and want to become like them. Rather than looking outside, you should look inside, whether you have a passion to do it or not. When you started, there was no nanotechnology
No.
expert. You were doing it due to your passion in your work.
Yeah, so I would suggest that first you identify what you are and what you're good at. So till 2019, which I shared with you, I was not having an account on Facebook or Instagram or any of the social media. I was off from social media, which is 2019. I was doing my PhD. So I enrolled for my PhD. I completed my master's.
So how did your friends feel about it that you are not on social media?
I had really good friends. I do have them right now also because I have connected with them on not on the phone but or from one to one basis. So I have my friends now. They are on social media and I got connected with them. But we have that particular feeling of what we were at that particular time from on one to one basis. So I think because there are a lot of friends on, you have a lot of followers, you have a lot of friends on your list, but then the real friends are very few, but these real friends are going to come along with you in your life, not the ones who are following you or on the what do you say, Facebook or social media, whatever what friends you are seeing. So I believe I have made friends who are real and they are literally helping me now also in terms of life. Yes, social media has become just a way of keeping in connect with them. So there are a lot of people, I have been on trips and I've been on Gen Z trips and everything. They are there on their social media itself, putting up on for content for their followers, or putting up things for their followers and showing off people. But I think if networking is a very important part of your life, as well as in business, as well as in personal life. I feel you go to school, you go to any college, or you select any college or any universities because of the networking capacities or people who are there around you, not for like education is there everywhere. Okay, there are same textbooks, there is a lot of content on the internet, there is a lot of, why you go to IIM Ahmedabad, why not to any MBA, other MBA college? Because you have that particular best people around you and best set of people to learn from you. So if you don't connect with them at that particular time and you miss out that, and you're always there on phone and trying to find people around the world, I think that's the most stupid thing what people are doing right now. And I feel that if they are coming with me on the trips, suppose, and if they have not connected with me, or they have not connected people like me who can literally help them in their careers or something like would be helpful in their personal life as a person, and they're just seeking out help from the followers, I feel that that's little bit, yeah, shallow, or what you can say, it's like it's something, a different philosophy. I'm not saying it's wrong altogether, but it is to be said, a relativistic way of approaching things. So it is not wrong, it is not even right, but you should see what is more right and more wrong. So I feel, from my perspective, if I'm in a place and I should connect, if I'm going to a conference, I should connect with people, I should network at that particular time on one to one, and you have that frequency match, and then you can be on social media and you can connect them again and again, or you can be in touch. But whenever you are at a place where you can connect, you should connect with them on at that particular time. You should make new friends, you should meet new people, and you will learn a lot from them. So yeah, my journey was like that. I have made so many friends, and I think they all are very useful in real life, not in the virtual life. So yes.
Your real friends help you to succeed.
Yes,
Nowadays, people are confused in life.
even I am.
So how do you figure out कि क्या करना है?
It's good to be confused, I feel. Okay. So, see, still, I have completed my PhD and I have a company, but still, I'm confused at what is the more potential I can do with my life. Okay, and what all I can do. So, I have done singing also. Like I've given 6, 7 exams of singing, and I'm good at it. I sing in my community and in the religion. Should I, take that ahead or not? Or should I take, suppose taking like a podcast and talking to scientists, or more adding more towards life, or taking my own potential, like where do I find my whole potential? But what is exciting to me comes first, and what is giving me like every day in the morning, okay, I have to do this work, I'm excited to go for that particular work. If I'm singing, then I should be excited of singing, that every day I'll record, every day I'll pursue the marketing skills, or every day I have to go and innovate. So something which I feel that which excites you, which gives you a power to wake up every morning and say, okay, yes, I'm going for that particular work. And if you're confused, it's completely fine. I think you should experiment. You should experiment. Life is an experiment. Like, we being scientists, we have done so many experiments in our lab. Half of them must have failed. few of them must have succeeded. But I feel that was the negative results are also results. They are also being taken into journal called negative journal. So I think that, and negative results are not bad. I feel that life is, has to be seen on both the ways. It should be, it's we know what is bad and what is good for us. It's not for everyone. Okay, if someone is doing something, it might, the conditions and the environment might be good for that, and he is able to do that. But if I am, suppose, I aspiring to be an astronaut, suppose, and if I'm having if I'm not having that conditions, and I'm not able to pursue that, but then at the same time I can go and do some research in ICMR or ISSR, or some research institute, and I can pursue that with the colleges, or with the ahead, like future studies. I will do that, which will take me to that particular being an astronaut, or even not astronaut, but then I can at least be around that one or the other day I can succeed in that particular way. So it's going to be a long journey. If I decide, okay, I want to be a musician today, it's not going to be today, it's going to be like 10 years down the line I can be a musician if I'm working on that particular steps. So I feel if there is a confusion, you should try things, check it for a year or something, that if it is working for you or not. And even at the age of 40, I've seen people changing their profession. Even at the age of 50, 55, they are changing their profession. Okay, we are not more interested, it's more about interest, what excites you. So it can be changeable. So suppose if I'm an entrepreneur today, like I'm selling my products today, tomorrow if I want to become a musician, and if I really don't want to pursue this ahead because of some or the other reasons, I should have a valid reason. And if it is not going ahead, if the market is not fit right now, the market will be ready for 10 after 10 years for this particular technology, then I will continue this in the background. But at the same time, if I don't want to waste my time, so I will try different things where I can succeed, or I would like to do every day. So this can be, and it can be pursued like a career. So I think this openness of experimenting life should be there.
Do you have any investors?
No, so we are completely bootstrapped, and I have got money from grants. So I got my 5 lakh rupees from first Chancellor's Challenge. Then from BIRAC, BIRAC is Government of India's body.
How did your mom and dad feel about it?
They were literally super happy, because I remember when I took the check. I was first of all very much happy, because I didn't expect me to be the winner, and it was just a simple idea to solve a simple problem. And I was a girl who was alone, and a 19-year-old girl who doesn't know much. But yeah, I competed with them. People believed in my idea, because I believed in that particular problem to solve. And then I got the check, and my dad was like, "Oh my god, you got 5 lakh rupees for this whole thing!" And I went to the to my dad's shop, and my dad literally took that whole what do you say? First of all, photograph, and he took that check, and he literally put it on the in his shop. So I remember, so that all the customers, can see that particular check, and then he can tell about his daughter, okay, that she got this check. So they have always been, what do you say, awarding and encouraging, okay, you can do this more. So after that first check, after putting up my efforts in that, in this particular innovation of Happy Toe, I have spent almost more than money of 5 lakh rupees. Even my dad helped me out in few things. Even I have made money out of it in the initial part, where I wanted not much, but 5 lakh was enough. But yeah, traveling cost or something like that. Even like at the age of 19, I was at his house. So of course, now also I'm at his house. So of course, all these support, basically the support of a family is very important, and the environment which they created for me to succeed in life, or succeed in my purpose of life, was really important. And my mother, of course, so being, I think at this age in other countries, more of the students or something, are independent, and they stay away from their parents or something. But I've always been a family person, and I've always I've done something for them, and they have done something for, it's like a synergistic way what we tell, and I really respect that particular way. So my mom used to help me, give me tiffins and everything in the morning when I used to go for work, or if I'm traveling to London or Singapore, she used to make me theplas and get it along, that you won't eat any non-veg thing. I know that you won't want to have Jain food and all. So she used to pack me all these things. So this is like pure love and support. Basically, this love and support is needed. That's it. We don't want anything financially. So I've never asked from my parents. They have supported me in this particular way of giving me proper support and environment of whatever I want to do in life. So that was really because they believed in me, and I believed in them, that they will be there for me. So this synergistic way of working of our parents and the environment of our family is something. And I have a sister and brother who were like equally supportive. So my sister is a CA, she is the CFO of the company. She handles all the accounts and everything. My brother is into marketing. He's doing MBA, so he helps me, doing marketing and how to talk and everything. So yeah, it's like all together coming like a company itself, that everyone has their own expertise and they're helping us in building our life. And that's what a real life is. You have everyone in your life, and you build up a life and you experiment your life, and you go through this journey of life. So yes, this is something I feel very much good about myself, and I was lucky to have this.
If you love someone, let them free, and your family wants you to succeed. What are your thoughts about VC funded startups?
Okay, so I missed out this, that I have done completely bootstrapped, and I started with Chancellor's Challenge money, and then I was being awarded by BIRAC, IIT Bombay, ECEL. I was awarded. So almost around 15 lakh I got into my account to start my company, which was quite good enough. And then the COVID hit, and the COVID was a time where everything was kind of online, and you can't have that access to go to places and go and pitch and ask for VC fundings and everything. But at the same time, I had enough money, which was like around 12 to 15 lakh rupees, to start with the products. And the product, I was in more into the product basis, and the product which was needed for the uh, COVID time, and there was a huge demand for it. So I did even side businesses. I did a little bit of side business of mask, or sanitizers or something like that, to to get that's the entrepreneurs, what do you say, yeah, mindset, to get money for the whole thing to set up. So I had set up a job work in the factory, and during COVID it was something like the orders were needed more, and I have taken advance payment. So I whenever whoever used to order from me, I used to tell them that give me an advance payment of 50%. And at the time, the times were really good at that time, and people used to give 50% because there was a need for that particular product. And with that 50% advance, I had built all my products, and then I used to serve them. And so basically it was completely sales perspective, and I used to take advance. And now I have to keep. So COVID time was another time. It was a, what you say, fortune time for us, where the advance used to come, and we used to make the products, and we used to give it, and we used to have some profits, and we used to reinvest in our factory, and making of the products. After COVID, which is like this time, 2021 to 2022, the demand for the product was not more, and there was a set of investment, or set of products which was already made in the factory, and we had to now there's like pull. There was a push strategy. There was a the pull sales in COVID, but at this yeah in after it's COVID, there was like a push strategy, that there is a use of sanitizer or something, and the products what we were selling. So in that push strategy, we had to pump a little bit of money. And yeah, we had to give people, what do you say, credit period, which generally happens in every business. So around 3 to 4 months. So there are a lot of money which was stuck in the credit point. But then I think it was quite comfortable for me, because I was getting awards, and I used to apply for fundings and funding, what do you say, grants and everything, in terms of. So I got one grant from Central Ministry of Housing Affairs. So I was selected for Amrut 2.0, where I was getting a grant for 20 lakhs and do a pilot project in Hyderabad, Warangal, any other city whichever I like. So I've selected Hyderabad and Warangal.
Why did you choose Hyderabad and Warangal?
Warangal specifically because the IS officer, we have to work with the municipal corporation, and she is a lady, and she can understand the problem, and she can actually work with us very well. So I've done some research, and then I have selected Warangal, and Warangal is a tier 2 city, where women and what you can say, more population of women in South, women are more empowered, and I can say that women population is quite educated. So it was first the pilot study to pilot something which is to an educated what do you say, community, was much more what do you say, yeah, helpful for me to get onto the hands whether the people understand it or not. And then going to different countries, and the cities of my own country. So yes, and of course the IS officer is as young as me, and she understands the problem, and she is much more supportive in that particular way. And yeah, it's by central ministry we have to select the cities. So yes.
Were you offered any funding?
Yeah. So I was a winner of UK DCMS by UK government, which is UK DCMS in 2019. I was offered 3 million euros for my company, but I had to set up complete setup in London.
So how much is 3 million euros in INR?
Almost 30 CR.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but the only thing was,
This could be a great thumbnail. She rejected 30 crores.
yeah, because I had to set up everything in UK, and then all the taxes and everything has to be given to the UK government. Basically, it would be a UK based company and not an Indian company. But I was, and my dad is very much patriotic, and I also wanted to start because the market is over here, and yes, there is a lot of. So UK people told me that if there is a branding of UK is known for its brand. Okay, all clothing or any of the products, they are not being manufactured in UK. And UK is only known for marketing and branding. And whenever we see, even Indians, even I, if I see any made in UK product, I will buy it for whatever price it is. Okay, there's this thing. There's a whole complete mindset. Okay, if this is a product from UK, it will be good. It will be trustworthy, but they are made in India only. They're made in Sri Lanka. They're made in Bangladesh only. And every what do you say? Every T-shirt you find from UK is made in China, made in India, made in Bangladesh. These countries itself, from a developing countries. Then I was like that. Okay, why not from India? Okay, let's change this perspective also. That if I am suppose giving this for 500. If I'm going to go through UK channel, the market is going to be Indian companies, India, and the most overpopulated countries itself. I'm going to sell it for 1500. People will buy in 1500 if it is made in UK. People are not buying it if it is made in India for 500. So something this perspective, and I feel that I was working more towards B2B and B2G, and India would be a better what do you say market fit and for this particular project than UK. So I took a what do you say decision over the business rules and regulations. So yeah, it was my decision to start from India and not from UK.
Do you regret not raising funds through venture capital?
No, because I feel that like there are pros and cons of funding, and me being a women entrepreneur, there are a lot of ups and downs in our own personal lives as well as professional lives, and I can take funding. I want to take funding if I'm going D2C after like 2 years down the line. But at that particular time, because I had a good sales and I was doing good in my what do you say my capacity, so I restricted to that, and more of a social entrepreneurship. I was going towards that rather than completely entrepreneurship, like taking investments. Investments are good for a software or some products which really need marketing. This was more of a pull product for us in COVID, and COVID helped us market this particular product. So, and that too in government as well as in B2B. So there was no much D2C interest over there for me. But now if I'm going D2C with my all 14 products, because I have innovated 14 products in different ways and to solve different problems, so I may go and I may look for funding for marketing, specifically for marketing, because marketing takes a lot of money. And at this particular time, I'm not doing much marketing. So yes, I have been very simple and I can work on my own ways. So I have not taken any funding till yet.
There is a sense of responsibility to answer somebody, which makes us less flexible.
So yeah, both taking funding or not taking funding is depending on an entrepreneur, and it has both cons and pros on their own side. If you want to really grow fast, you take a funding, and literally do a lot of marketing, and then there's a sales which is coming from the marketing. But according to what do you say unicorns, and who has put $100 million or lot of money in marketing, like Paytm or Amazon, and if they are not getting sales, so it becomes a huge vacuum in between. And and we have seen all these people. So basically my personality, I would go with that. This is also a right way to do it, but according to me, I'm not saying someone is wrong or someone is right, but according to me, my personality is more of not showing off more and doing like simple thinking, like sorry, simple living and high thinking. Yeah, simple living and high thinking. So I don't believe in more of showcasing things and selling on the showcase. I believe in the properties of my product and the use of it in that particular way. So if the person is liking, suppose the public toilets in railways, if the person is liking the product, if it is solving that particular problem, they are going to take it. I'm more towards that rather than pushing the product. Okay, you have to take it. Just pushing something as a brand, because my product is more of a use case and solving a problem product, rather than and there is no competition as such to this particular product as till now. So I am much more into a monopoly way to get this problem solved as a scientist as well as a company, rather than n number of people standing with me and I have to compete in terms of marketing. So then you need a different marketing, and then you put money in marketing and try out different things. So I've always been simple, and I've always been more of target customer based, who is my problem, who is having a problem, and I'm trying to solve that problem. So and then I'm giving my products to them to solve that particular problem. So yes.
Like you got married in
2020, December 2020.
How did your marriage affect the company?
Okay, so that's a huge story, but yeah, being a woman entrepreneur, you have to take a lot of decisions in terms of your personal life as well as professional lives. And I'm being from a community which is like Marwadi community, where women have been not working professionally much, but on the personal level, they have been growing their house and their household, which is a very good thing. They have been supporting men in terms of household work. Um, but at the same time, me being from a different generation, and from because in the past generation, women used to be at house, and they used to support house in terms of household work, and men used to go outside, and they used to earn, and they used to get money for the house, which was a good synergy. But now the things and times have changed. So the things have changed, the times have changed. Women have started getting educated. They're doing their PhD, they're pursuing their career, they're doing their CA, doctors, becoming number of professions what we have been dreaming of. So whenever you are asking a child in my fifth standard or something, what do you want to become? So I always wanted to dreaming of become a scientist, okay, or becoming a doctorate basically, or to because I used to ask a lot of questions to everyone. So it was like, okay, I need to ask questions to the natures also, to the nature also. And hence I became, I chose a profession of scientist. I actually quit my MBBS seat. I got into Pravra Loni, and my dad was taking, we were actually going and paying the fees. But then I was like, I don't want to become an MBBS. But because of the society, what do you say? Because there were only two professions which were known, which is doctor and what do you say, engineer. And there was no other profession. For girls, it was much more better to become an BDS, because all my friends became BDS. And it's more flexible to work with household work and all. But at the same time, I have seen a dream of becoming something. So that time I think Three Idiots also was there, and which to support, and I thank Three Idiots for that. So I literally I questioned my dad. I went against the decision of becoming an MBBS. And now he's proud of me. That time he was like, okay, MBBS is much more set life, because we don't know, no one in my family has been studying. I am like the first person who has got my PhD in my whole family, or whole community, I would say. um, so it was a very new thing to explore, and no one knew about this whole career and getting into this studious, or about the academic life. So I had to take a lot of support of different people who had guided me in ICMR, or in my professors and everyone. And I've taken that help. And so this was my dream, which I have seen from past so many years. And now suddenly, when I got married, so it was being said that, yeah, I'll be allowed to work, and from 11 to 6. And I will be, I told them that I have my PhD, so I have to go for conferences, and I have to showcase my company products. So I have to go to places to do that. So they were okay with it. But the community doesn't works like this. So when I got married, and I went to their house for. So in 2021, Silvery Nanos had zero sales. So it was a stop to Silvery Nanos. It was completely ignored, or you can say it was just a full stop, because for 6 months, uh, like a community has a lot of what do you say, rituals and things, and other like a lot of things to be done to a married women. So they said that 6 months you don't have to work, and you just get adjusted to the family and do household work. I was like, okay, for 6 months. I was doing my PhD. I was writing my thesis also at the same time, and I was balancing the life between PhD and what do you say, household work, staying at home. And Silvery Nanos was being ignored, but I was doing some of the other, online conferences or being in a BNI or a TIE member. So I was little bit into it, but not into the sales perspective. After 6 months, when I started my office, but then after going to office and handling the household work, because there will be something or the other which will be missed in household things, which I was doing for 6 months. 6 months I was like completely a household person and a housewife. But when I shifted to after 6 months to office, there was a huge gap and vacuum between the work and what I was working on, so which conflicted my family, my other family. And then they decided that I should not work, that I should much more be on the household part and I should become a housewife. And I was being told that I was given a lot of examples of people who are like doctors and engineers and CAs who has been getting 19 to 20 lakh of package, and they have left that package and sitting at home. Um yes, that's their decision. I equally, it's everyone has their own decision and everyone has their own life to decide on, and you can't be looking at someone else and decide for yourself. That's what have been from the start with my life. I've never decided on looking at people. Okay, she is becoming a scientist, or she is becoming a doctor, or she is becoming an engineer, or she all my friends became BDS and I should also take BDS. That's never in a life. So I have taken my own decisions, and I was from the start, I was sure that I want to become a scientist. I've dreamed of become a scientist. I've dreamed of doing something, changing world, or innovating things for the world, and making my own name in this particular a small place in this world where I can be recognized. And I had this hunger for that. So yeah, I decided to take a divorce in 2021 itself. And the after the process, I think in August we got divorced. And because there was a lot of conflict between our thoughts of working and not working, so they were saying that I'm not supposed to work because there were a lot of responsibility as how at house. And I believe that they are not wrong, but the only thing is that the society is changing, so you should select a person or tell a person before that what is exactly your needs, rather than telling them, okay, you can do all these things before marriage, and then after marriage you just change your own perspective that everyone is doing it, so you also do it. So basically society goes with the society. That's what the trend has been in India or anywhere in the world, that they just go with the sheep herd, which is wrong. I feel if you have your own personal family, you're not supposed to look at other people what they're doing. You should adjust in your own things. If you have your an XL or double XL, you will customize your clothes according to your size. You won't see her, she is wearing an M. You are trying to fit that M in your own body. It won't fit. It will, of course, tear it off. So I feel that now the things are changing and the society has to change according to that. The practices which were before were much more respected, and we respect that. We respect our old, our my own mom is a housewife, and I do respect that. And she has been doing a lot of other things with the household work, and household work is not at all easy, trust me. I think every work should be respected equally, and every work has to be given that particular priority, that they are equal. If someone is doing koi bartan घिस रहा है, they're equally important of someone who is doing marketing or Silvery Nanos, or if someone, because everyone has their own work and they're good at it, and every work is important in their house. Even cleaning toilet is important in the house, even making cooking food is important in the house, even you know take cleaning utensils is important in the house, because every work is important. So I think, and that particular work has been prioritized from since long time, that women has to do household work and men has to earn and get the food, yeah, provide for the family, which was good enough at that particular time. But the times have changed. Now women has started looking for the career, getting educated, because you are studying for so many years. You have given your life for doing a PhD, for becoming a doctor, becoming a CA, and you have dreamt of that particular thing of becoming and practicing that, and you have given your 30 or 25 years of your life in studies, and then suddenly you are telling someone that now no more, just drop it off. Now there is a different life. So basically you're trying to uh, kill that person first of all in that one life, and the second thing is you're trying to give her another life and telling her now you have to start learning this. It's like there is a huge gap. It's not about uh, this generation, but this generation is facing a lot, because I have seen my friends also who are doctors, who are engineers, and women specifically are not able to pursue their career because they have to look after their family and they have to also do the household work. How much ever we are trying to keep, maids or something, but you have to keep an eye on them also. And you have to, there is a responsibility of house. So I feel that the equal responsibility, if you are teaching a kid, it's suppose we are not differentiating men or women. If you are teaching all kids studies, you're pursuing them for education, at the same time you should also teach all the kids, not men and women, all kids, about the basics of life or living in a house. Sabka ghar, sabka hai ghar. So they should also not feel ashamed of cooking, or they should also be knowing too about the basic skills of life, because we are educating our women, we're educating girls with that particular passion, with the same number, with the same degree, with the same effort she is putting up. And then suddenly she is told to switch off to another profession, which is she doesn't even know, but she has to learn. The same thing can be done with the other person also, with the male gender also, that they can also learn new things at the same time. But why, but women has only been expected to learn new things and to change the whole life and to give up on something, to sacrifice on something, and then to get on to and learn new skills for cooking or for handling the house. Or from the start itself, women has been trained to do both, which is good enough. Everyone should know both, because they are the basics of life. And everyone should be a polymath. I know how to cook a roti in 30 seconds. I can do that. I know how to. I am very good cook. I really love cooking, and I enjoy cooking, and I love doing work. But at the same time, a person is having a lot of work. There is, like, everyone has an energy. Okay, you can't put energy. Completely. You can equalize the energy, but if you are putting energy on both the sides, that you only have to do the household work, only you only have to earn bread for yourself, and you only have to do your own taking care of your own expenses. Then at the same time, I would also want that the opposite gender, who is my partner, who is called to be my partner, should be an equal partner to that particular thing. That he should also have and handle some of the household responsibilities, which is to be taken care of. Because after a point, suppose I was also doing, I was trying to do both the work, household work, as well as outside work. But a time came when I got completely what you can say, tired. I had to quit one of them, because if your body is like a rubber, if you're stretching it like a rubber band, if you're stretching it from both the sides, you're doing your household work also, you're doing your company work and your PhD work, you're just stretching your body. After a point of time, it is going to get pulled away. It is going to get that even point will come and it will break it off, and you will be pulled apart, and then you will have a choice whether to keep this or whether to keep this. Then why to pull this much? That's my question. Why you're supposed to pull that one gender so much that it just gets pulled away and then you have to make a choice? You better pull both the genders equally, that they don't even come to an even break point, and they can work together like a rubber band, like for a lifetime, which impacts which holds together. So I feel this is going to be a generation, this question is going to be there for our future generation also. This generation might even compromise on things and everything. I decided for myself, I'm not saying other people, I decided for myself that I should work, I should move out, and I should find a partner which is more acceptable to what I'm doing, and more supportive to what I'm doing, the environment which I want for becoming a person together. So I always feel that environment is very important. So you choose your environment wisely. And that environment is not there right now in India or any other places, what I feel. But in India specifically, I'm telling about, like, if you're talking about women equality, if you're talking about women entrepreneurship, if you're talking about women progressing, and if you're just giving her education, it's not enough. If you are saying that okay, the education is just given to women so that anytime after a point of time, if there is something bad happening to the family, then she can stand for herself. To be frank, I don't remember what I have studied after, like, before 2 years. So you can't stand on the spot if you are dead. So I feel that if it is a continuous thing, if there is a CA, if she's not practicing, if there is a surgeon, suppose she's not practicing for 5 years, and suddenly if you're saying that the family is having an issue and you have to earn, she can't pursue her surgeon career because she is not good enough for that particular job. and she has to do something or the other odd job, which will be not of her own, expertise. So I think that there has to be a shift of, and there has to be an environment which is to be made in India specifically for women to grow, to empower them in this particular way where men and women should be treated equally in all perspectives. If you're giving education to women, if you're giving education to men in both the schools sitting together, you should even teach them the basic skills together. So that in life, even at the same time, if there are mother-in-laws or the father-in-laws or in-laws who are thinking, or even my parents, they both are getting old, they also have the right to um, take off their responsibilities onto us, because they have been holding that particular responsibility for complete 30 years, I think 25 to 30 years when a person is getting married. So I think that has to be taken off. But in that perspective, if you want to take it off, don't take it off on one single person. It has to be taken off on both the shoulders equally, which is men and women, because they both are earning, they both are looking for their careers, and they both are doing their work. So I think that equality is somewhere missing in the environment, and that's why more women cannot pursue their careers, or they are just afraid of that particular community and society. But I have taken a chance, I have taken a stand for myself, and I have taken a firm decision. Yes, I have to be I have been through a lot, and I have been getting told by my relatives and everyone that you should go back, and what happened if you do, if you quit your career is not everything. Yes, career is not everything, I agree to that. If I become a president after few years, after like 5 years down the line, I will need a family along with me to enjoy that particular presidentialship, or to enjoy that particular position, or to enjoy anything in my life. I want a family, or anyone and everyone, every girl needs a family who is supportive to them. And but at the same time, if I just take off my my career or my dream, I will be a dead person with no dreams and with no motivation or purpose in my life, because I've seen a purpose in my life that I want to solve things and I want to become something. And if I'm not having that purpose any time for my life, I will of course think of getting suicidal thoughts, or getting into depression, or getting into the what I'm doing with my life, because you're suddenly making me dead, and you're suddenly telling me to switch to something else, which I will do it. But at the same time, I want that also. I want that balance in that particular life. So I think parents have to understand for their kids, the future generation parents, or the parents of this generation also has to understand that the kids are being treated equally, not being treated as a different like different genders, and different biasness has to be taken off, and that will be really good for the society. Neither there will be a lot of divorces, there will be a lot of depression, there will be a lot of anxiety in kids, because yeah, it's very difficult for because they are not understanding. You have their own perspective in life, it's not matching, and there is going to be a clash, and the society is going to go and collapse at one point of time, and which is collapsing, I feel, because I've seen a lot of my friends who are having the same issue at the same perspective time, because things are not working in the society, there things are not changing in the society. And I think it's time to change things in society, neither the things are going to collapse. That's what my perspective of life is. If you're not changing with time, things are going to collapse, and people are going to get depressed, and people are not going to be, they'll be of no use even in the career perspective, not even in the personal life. They will be going into some dark, shallow life, which was not into alcoholism, into drugs, or into something like that, which I have not taken anything of this, because I have my own values, I have like a Jain person, or but there are a lot of people which I have seen, they have been into that, and they are ruining their life for no reason at all.
They seek comfort.
Yeah, they seek comfort in that, because no one is understanding. No, the parents are also not understanding, your partner is also not understanding, so they try to get an over and out for it, that I don't even want to get. So that's why alcoholism is increasing day by day, and I feel it's really bad for the society. Alcoholism, drugs, all these things are very bad for the society, and there is a need, because there is a dismanagement or mismanagement in the society. So I feel that if there is a management, if there is an openness in parents or in the society to talk about, so there will be less lives, or like more lives can be saved, and less lives will be saved from depression. Like more lives will be saved from the depression point of view. There has to be a discussion around this. A lot of discussion has to be going through around this, and I feel that I have taken a right decision at that particular point of time for myself, because of what I want to do. and I am firm on it, or what I really want to do, and no one else is there, because they have not seen my life. You have not seen me. You have not seen me from, from being, from a kid to an elder, and what my values are, or what my perspective or my dream is. But then you are coming and telling me, oh no, you're not supposed to do this, or because the society has to be changed, the perspective of the society is something else, so you have to fit in that particular box. So I think that's completely wrong. No one can judge actually anyone, because they have their own life, they have their own struggles, they have their own, what do you say, journey of life, and they take decisions according to that. So you can't judge anyone's decision whether it's right or wrong, in terms of, the society, what is being played. So I feel that this decisions have been taken, and this is a very pure case of, depression, and the society going into this mental disorders. So this all has to be opened up, and, been talked about, that every girl who is a CA, or who has been a doctor, or who has been, any profession, can actually be herself, and, have that hint, one part. I'm not telling that she has to compromise everything, but that one part has to be there with her, and the other part should, complement her, and, make her life more beautiful, rather than, eating up her life. So that's how I feel that this has to be solved.
If two people have a sense of mutual understanding, they both can grow
True.
exponentially. How did your family respond to that?
So the family was also very much under pressure, because the community and the society works in that particular way. No one had a doctorate, or, a career oriented goal in their life. So even my sister is a chartered accountant. She is CA, ACCA, CFA, CS. She has taken all the degrees, and I have seen her worked really hard. Like, I have seen her waking up at 3 a.m. and studying. I've seen her giving 100% to take those degrees, because it takes a lot to take a degree. It's very easy, to say that, okay, yeah, you are a CA and just quit it up. But I have myself, been waking up at 4 a.m. I have been writing my thesis, and I have done a lot of, hard work for getting that. And suddenly, because the society is working in some other pattern, and they are telling you to take the decisions according to their pattern, is, I feel, was not familiar with my. So my family was very much under pressure, because they were like, from this side also they are right, because they want to set up their kids in their community, and, that whole thing. But at the same time, they know the importance and the hard work what we did for our life, and for our career, and what we want to become. And if we are just letting that off, we are going to become, a person who has like, who was never us, who was never Divya Rathod, or Dr. Divya Rathod, or who was never Jhinal Rathod, or CA Jhinal Rathod. So I feel that they understood that particular point of ours. It was very big conflict for them. I can understand what pressure they have been through because of us, but I think they are very strong, and they are an example for the society, that every individual family can take their own individual decisions, in terms of their kids, in terms of their life, in terms of their family, because every decision is not same for everyone. Every cloth is not same for everyone. Every size has to be, manufactured differently. So yes, my dad and my parents have taken the pressure very, very, they have handled things very nicely. They have supported me in my whole process of divorce, and they've supported me in my terms of my own thinking and what I wanted to do really. Maybe it's not Silvery Nanos, maybe it's not what I am currently doing, a PhD or something. Maybe out of any bloom, I really want to work. I really want to have my own personality of what I am in this world, not going back. Like, now also I cook. Okay, I've just come cooking, and I've cooked
What
food.
did you cook?
I did some methi bhaji and rotis. So I've cooked, and I have helped my mom. And at night also I'll cook something or the other, because I really like cooking, and I help her in all, and I help her because it's not her house. And my mom also, pursue designing, and she has her own band of a community where she goes. So she has her own life. Okay, she is living her life. So our family has been like this, that she is living her life. She is she is okay to be in the band, she is okay to travel, she is okay to do her things also, with that particular responsibility, which she has literally done fairness to it. Like, I'll get 10 out of 10 what my mom has done for us, my dad has done for us. They have both done their own responsibility, but at the same time they're living their life. My dad is a very good tennis player, and what do you say he loves to organize all these events where cricket or being into lawn tennis, and every day he goes to country club to play things, and he has his own life. And he wanted to become an army person, but he couldn't because of the family business or something like that. But he is living his life at that particular at this particular time, so he knows the value of the happiness what he gets to after doing what he really wants. So I really think that they understand this, and every parent has to understand that, whether it's in-laws or whether it's the parents, anyone. So everyone has their own life, and they will do their responsibilities. But with that responsibilities, you should make them free for do whatever they want to do, and the responsibilities should be taken equally, should be distributed equally. That's what. And plus everyone can do everything in their life. So what we are doing right now, so we even I cook, my sister cooks, even my brother also cooks, my dad also knows how to cook. So there's nothing like that a person will cook.
So you have a family of scientists at home.
Yeah, so yeah, we have an experimental thing, and this has been not in the start of the years. It has been after experimenting a lot of things, after having a lot of discussions, after having a lot of arguments, you can say. I think every family should have arguments. Hamare ghar mein you will see always some noises or something, to be frank, because we are discussing on some of the other points. We are arguing, and we are coming to a conclusion that okay, what is right and what is wrong, rather than not discussing and then going. So no, my family doesn't have any bad habits, because we have been discussing and we have been solving our problems within ourselves. We're not just ignoring the problem and then going for a solution in terms of alcohol or any of the drugs, that which will just settle the problem. The problem is not going to get solved. We have to sit and solve the problem. You can't just ignore, because the problem is going to come one or the other day. So you have to sit and solve the problem. What is the exact solution? And then you have to work on it. So I think my family has evolved. I've seen them evolving in with us, with kids, because my parents were also like the community, but then I have seen them evolving. My mom at this age of 50, she drives car. She has been learning right now, and she's driving. My dad is teaching her. So, and my dad teaches lawn tennis, and takes us for all these drives. He has taught us so many things, which a normal woman in this particular society doesn't do it. So I've seen this. I've seen things growing. I've seen my parents growing together because of us, or because of the because of their own individual thinking. The same thing we want in the society, that we all individually can grow together. We individually can grow together. So individually we are growing, but we are growing together. So this is something which I really perspective. And you play together at night. You have sequence, or we play everyday cards or something, or any other activities we do at night. That's a family time. I really love my family, and I really, if I'm going somewhere, if I'm and every girl really wants a happy family. If she is going somewhere, no one wants to stay individually, like two people in a house where you're haunting and you're just blaming each other, and solving problems amongst each other. We want that family perspective. I really feel that family is very important, to take off the stress, to take off the loads, to take off discuss things, to fight, to do arguments, to laugh together. So I really feel that family is very important for anything and for everything. So if the family understands you and leaves you openly, and there is no what do you say, no strings, having cage, yeah, no cages, that you are allowed to do this, or you are doing this, or you're not allowed to do this, or you I've never my dad has never told me that you're allowed to do this or not. He has always, this allowance word is very much in our society, that I'm allowing you to work. So I've got this many times, that I'm allowing from the other side, that I'm allowing you to have a office. It was my office, it was my money and everything, but they were allowing me to do something or the other. And that makes you a servant, or that makes you feel like a caged person, that you are being allowed for this much and this much time, you have to come, and you are being that allowance word should not be there. I think everyone uh, should be, so allowance in terms of, if you're telling them should I drink or not, that is something, but you should that is not the way. I'm not talking about those bad things, that about the allowance. You should always see the good things in yourself, and I think there should be a discussion. If I'm wrong, I am wrong, but I'll discuss with it, that okay, I'm having a discussion with my family, that this is a topic, and whether this should be done or not. So we have this discussion: should we go to this trip or not, for the business perspective in Northeast or something, whether we'll get the business or not, or it's just a trip, which will give us leisure and there'll be no business and it will be like for fun. So we have all these discussion at house, and this discussion of entrepreneurship, of discussion of about life, of taking decisions, is very important in every family, and that will take and make the family stick together for life, and your life will be beautiful.
What was the impact of your divorce on Silvery Nanos?
So I would say that it was very impactful, and like in 2021, I was not having a single what do you say sales. There was like
At the time of
yeah, at the time of what do you say, whenever I was there at the house, because the sales was zero, I was not concentrating, and I was much more I was depressed. I was even having suicidal thoughts at a particular time, because I was not me. Basically, I have lost the touch for myself only, because whatever I was doing, I was enjoying cooking, I was enjoying everything, but at the same time I was not allowing myself to do work at Silvery Nanos or whatever I wanted to pursue. It was been embedded on me that you have to just do this particular work. But what I wanted in life and what I was doing was completely different. I could have done both together, but it was some or the other, it was not affecting. I tried that, but it was affecting a lot in my own personal health also. So I took a decision of parting off. And when I took the decision, then I started concentrating again on my career and my life. I got my PhD in July 2022, and at the same time I did a good sales in terms of my Amrut 2.2, that was central ministry government order. And plus I was having a lot of distributors with in terms of railways and other government and B2B perspective. So our sales shoot up like almost from 0 to 70 lakhs. So it was like from 0 to 70 lakh is a huge thing. And in 2019, like during COVID time, 2020, we did a good sales. There was zero. Like we literally went to the mountain. We literally, actually fall down. And then we came back. So I really feel proud that for the company, it was a huge shift. And for myself, it was also a very huge shift. So company always reflect what your founder or what a person is going through. Company is a non-living thing, but it's the living things are actually ruling it or running it. So yeah, it always reflects that. So what is going through a founders or that whole thing. So yeah, I think it was a good shift, and there were tough decisions to be taken. I've taken a lot of tough decisions in my life, but they're decisions. They cannot be right or they cannot be wrong. They are just decisions. And what was right for me at that particular time, I have taken that decisions. So I won't even regret, or I won't even say that it was right or it was wrong, but it was just a decision at that particular time for me to be taken. And my life ahead would be like, I will be always positive, because I have learned a lot of things from this whole thing. And if I can, from my story, if I can just tell people that I'm not telling people to take a divorce or something if you're not being allowed. I would tell them to stay back and discuss with them that what exactly your perspective. And in my case, it was not that case.
not necessarily you have to take a divorce.
Yeah,
You can also talk about things before marriage as well.
yeah, before marriage these things has to be clear, and they should be standing on their words after marriage also. So I think women as a based, she is being judged by her personality, she is being judged by looks. Every men always in pehle ke times pe, when women were not educated, their beauty was the major USP. If a girl is beautiful, she is going to have a rich husband, or everyone used to like her, and take like she was be on the first priority list of every women of every man. But now the times have changed. People, yes, like the people, because the society has made things like that, that you have that beauty perspective, that you have to be beautiful, you have to be good looking, you have to be wearing clothes which are attractive to men, or you have to. So there are a lot of rules and regulations which I feel that now it's of no use. If you are standing now, still women, because they are into the society norms, they are still following that you have to be beautiful. They feel bad if they are they're black, or if they are short or something like that, or they don't have hair, or they have some of the other problems in their they don't walk properly, or they don't see properly, or they don't their bodies are imperfect. I feel that was a different time, and now the times have changed, and we should change the time, because we are educating ourselves, and we have to educate the society also with the same time. You're educating yourself, but you are forgetting to educate the society, because you're not being on yourself. If I am fat, I am fat. I accept myself, I'm educated, I will go and I will do something in my life. That should be the confidence of every woman, and that should be convincing, because if you are confident, the opposite person is going to be confident on yourself. So that's how the things will change in the society. If I am confident that okay, I am tall, I am I am like more of what do you say, I don't have that fair skin or something like that, it's okay. I have some other properties which are, much more. I'm well educated. I am, I have these skills in my life. Because the beauty is going to go after a point of time. But the how you think, how you influence people, how you actually think about yourself and others is going to stay with you. So I think
Unfair advantage.
yeah. So all these, I feel that now women has to be above all these things. And if they don't take a stand for themselves, no one is else going to take the stand for yourself. So you have to take a stand for yourself. If you are being bullied, if you are being told by someone that you are not walking properly, if your body parts are not proper, your trophies are of no use, or they have been throwing your trophies and everything, I think you have to take a stand for yourself. Okay, this doesn't matters for the whole world, but it matters for me. It does matter for me. I don't care about the world. It does. I have my own life. I have my own decisions. I have my own perspective to life, and I can have whatever perspective I want to think about life, how I want to make a life. I don't have to be surely to that wonderful, to have that long hair and makeup. So I've been told a lot of times, why don't you do makeup? Why don't you color your hair? Why don't you wear this attractive clothes? And I can do all of this. All of this. It's just nothing. There's nothing rocket science in all these things. To be frank, I can on the spot, just hire someone and do a makeup and everything. But how much it is going to last? And how much time are you going to do this?
What type of people will be attracted by that?
Yeah, what type of people are you attracting towards yourself, and what kind of society are you making by doing all these things? Yeah, you want to do for yourself, you do it. If I want to wear today crop top, I will wear it for myself. I don't want to show it to people that I want to, that's why the thinking of the society, how you think, is very different. How you make people think about you is also very different. If I'm talking towards in front of, so I was right now with the what do you say, IS officer in Haryana. He was very senior officer and everyone was men. Like I was the only woman sitting over there, and in the IS officer office to discuss about my project. Being a woman, I could have been like, oh my god, I'm a woman, I can't speak up much for myself, and I am whether I am fit to this particular, because everyone is men around me. But I was, because of my thinking. So thinking is very important in everyone's life. That is the differentiating part of your life. Your brain is a differentiating part, not your body. So you're thinking that I am sitting in front of all these people and what they're talking, and I am relevant to their frequency, that I am matching their frequency. That is important. Being man, whatever I'm dressing, I'm dressing in dupatta, I'm dressing in a jeans pant, or whatever makeup I am putting, that is not important. What I'm thinking and what I'm putting up on my words at that particular table is very important for me and for them to resonate. That's it. If I am talking about the development of Haryana state, or in that particular state of about women entrepreneurship, that is important. Not how I am looking or how I am putting up my makeup, or I am a woman or something like that. So thinking is important. So women also have a lot of misconception that they want to attract, they want to get married, they want to be in the society, they want to, so they will work on their outer beauty, and they will try to do that, and they will repress or suppress their internal thoughts and internal thinking and internal differential thinking. I think that's something stupid what they're doing. That will stay for kab tak rahega, 40 years, 35 years, 40 years, but your thinking will be there till the end of your life, till you die. And after dying also, your thoughts will be promoted in the society.
People will be inspired by your thoughts.
Yes, by your thoughts, not by your beauty and not by how you look, because there will be hundreds of thousands of women or men who are handsome and good looking. You have to be for yourself. You want to be fit, you be fit for yourself, not to showcase that I am fit, and that's why that should be a differentiating factor for me. No, your thinking should be the differentiating factor for everyone. So I feel that that is important.
You had some suicidal thoughts. How did you overcome it?
Okay, so when I thought that, because my life has turned a lot of things which I cannot disclose in this particular podcast, but then, yeah, this was the major thing, that I'm not able to work for what I want to work. And there were a lot of other problems which I have taken a divorce, not for only this reason, to be frank. And the reasons which I was around with my career, specifically my career and what my life, what I thought of, and it's not going on that particular way because I had made my career. I am a doctorate, but I'm not able to practice it. But I have my company, but I'm not able to run it. So all these things and the other things which was there, I was able to do those household work, but the point was I was not able to do what I am exactly for myself, or what is my purpose of life. So I really felt that at one point that I should just give up on my life because it's of no use. But then I thought that giving up on life will actually make my career or run my company or take my PhD to a next level or my innovations to a next level. No, I have invested so many years in myself. My parents have invested so many years in myself. Their conditions are not good, to be frank, but the conditions can be changed. With If a plant is having different conditions, the soil will be changed, the nutrients will be changed, and it will grow. If you just make that plant die, it is not going to. If you try to suicide, or if you commit a suicide, it is not going to help the society. Also, it is not going to help you. Also, it is not going to help your family. Also, but if you change the conditions, which I changed for myself, that I have to get out of this toxic condition and I want to build up a condition which is according to me around myself, what I want to be. Suppose I want to be a mango, and if I'm being put up in a watermelon, around watermelon, I will be a watermelon. I won't be a mango, but I wanted to be a mango, the king of fruit. So I changed the soil, I changed the conditions, I changed an area.
Even if you are a watermelon, you will be a bad watermelon.
Yeah, I'll be a bad watermelon, and I will try to change my conditions according to, even after, like, suppose if I am in that particular condition and I'm a mango seed, but I will sprout, but I will try that I will make changes in in my environment accordingly. Either I'll change the environment of, like, I completely move out to a mango family or something like that. That is, like, if you have an option, well and good, you should do that. Or you should choose before only a mango family, to grow in a mango family. But if you're stuck up with that particular thing, and if you can't do anything, but I think that little, like, if you are something from within, you can change those conditions. Only the small area will be a mango tree. Other rest, let it be a watermelon. You will grow slowly, because watermelons will take a lot of energy from you, but at the same time, you know that you are going to be a mango, and you are a mango, you have inheritance genes of a mango. You're going to grow like a mango itself. So only the conditions are different. That means that you have to take little bit of efforts to change those environment, those conditions, and you need to little bit of side or ignore those watermelon seeds, and then grow like a mango. So I feel if people are stuck, because most of the people are stuck with those decisions and they cannot do anything. I truly understand those conditions because my friends have been through that. But at the same time, they have they have nourished themselves. Diamond, like, diamond कैसे बनता है जब आपके ऊपर pressure हो, and तभी वो diamond grows, and that becomes a diamond. So I think if there are different conditions, and if you grow in that also, and there will be that is a miracle, that itne sare watermelons mein you are a mango, and you will be much more respected in that particular form. So I feel that yes, if you have those conditions, if you cannot move to the environment of a mango, you should stay there and make your own tree and get your own self established over there, and that will be a success. And that's what the life is a journey of failures, and there's nothing called success as such. I would feel there is nothing called rich and poor also. If you are having, there is, like, I feel 80% of the population in India is poverty, but they all are living happily. Why? Because उनके खर्चे कम है, and their earning is, तो खर्चे कम करो. So now there people are saying that there is a going to be a lot of what do you say, every UK and everyone, recession is, they're talking about recession. They're talking about recession in what terms? You do less, your lifestyle should be simple. You make your lifestyle simple. There'll be a lot of sustainability in the world itself, because your lifestyle is, you have hired your lifestyle so much that you want that 5 star, all the 5 star treatment, you want everything. And I feel that is also harming the environment, that is also harming your own self. And then you're telling that when you're not being provided, you are into a poverty or recession. No, I feel richness, I feel even a person. So when you see, oh, he's having a Porsche, or he's a rich person. No, that's not richness. Richness is if you're happy, if you're earning 10 rupees, you're spending 5 rupees, you're having that 5 rupees in your hand, you are rich. Because you're not going to ask for someone or the other. And that 5 rupees when becomes 5 crore, and then you're taking a Porsche, then you're rich. If you're taking loans from someone and then you're taking a Porsche and then you're showing off that okay, I have a Porsche, I'm a rich person, I'm so sorry. You're not rich according to me. You're not rich, even you're not going to be happy. A rich person, or we say in our community that come kharcho, spend less, stay simple, but keep your thinking high enough. Like I really love the concept of Jainism because they are into very much sustainable, use less food, use less, because you don't need, use less clothes, use less water, use less. And the world is going to change in that particular perspective if you really want a sustainable life and if you really want the earth to survive. Because the way we are living, we are using plastic, we are using so many things for our own self. हमारे खुद के अभी कपड़ों पे ही इतना सारा वेस्ट जाने वाला है in the environment, including myself, that we won't be able to recycle it. I know that it is going to go and add into the environment, and this is not going after I think down the years, it's not going to be a sustainable life. You need to be simple. You have to be simple. If you want to do something, you can even do without Porsche or without an Audi or without a BMW. You can even go by rickshaw and you do that particular work and do have a meeting, I think. So that thing, richness or poorness, or you need to show off something to do something, is something very stupid. In something very on Instagram also, I feel that if you are going to a cafe or something, you want to go for cafe, you go for yourself. You want to promote that business, you promote it. But the point is, showing off is not the ultimate truth of life. Whatever you have, you be happy with that, you save in that, and then you invest in later for life, is real happiness, is real richness.
Do you fast?
Yes.
What did you learn from fasting?
Okay, so being a Jain, I have done a lot of fasting. So recently I've done 83 days of fasting.
Like 50 to 60% of my friends are Jain. Then
Okay, yeah. So I think it's a very amazing experience. So scientifically, fasting is actually needed in your body because you have been consuming a lot of food every day. And so suppose I believe that your body is made up of machines, okay? Your stomach is continuously digesting and continuously working. Your heart is working. Everyone is working. Now you need to give them rest. You take a Sunday holiday, right? For you to take a rest. Are you giving rest to your body? Are you giving rest to your stomach and your enzymes and all these cells which are working 24/7 for you? आप तो रात को भी खाते हो, रात को 12 बजे भी उससे काम करवा रहे हो, फिर आप बोल रहे हो कैंसर नहीं आएगा, फिर आप बोल रहे हो कि ये सब चीजें नहीं आएगी, लाइक डिजीज नहीं आएगी. तो आई एम सॉरी, दे आर ऑल्सो, if you think them like cells, like humans, if you convert them, or if you just think that these are humans who are doing that particular work of liver or a particular work of stomach, and you continuously want to cut down at 12 o'clock, if you're cutting down those things, you also need time to sleep, you also need time to rest. So I think fasting is very important. Even a lion does fasting. Even an animal does fasting in their old, like lion, if he's having a feast today, he'll do a fasting for 3 days. Even if he is having a deer going passing by, he won't eat it because he knows that he's on a fasting period, and he will, or if even like he will prepare it, even if he's going to kill it, he's going to eat after 3 days because he knows that the digestion process has to be proper. So I have done recently 83 days of fasting where it was like yeah,
3 days.
yeah. So it was basically 48 days of pure fasting, like you're not supposed to have anything, only warm water throughout your day. And I've traveled also in that. I've been to Delhi Amrut 2.0 with where Narendra Modi.
Do you feel any change in energy levels?
I'll tell you, you feel more energetic and more focused because your energy. So you have your whole body, which you're taking your body as a, suppose, a unit, and you are giving energy, electricity to the whole body, and now you are just switching off one part of your body. So all the electricity, all the energy is going to focus on whatever you are working. So it is going. Suppose I am giving a presentation or something, and if I'm not hungry, because in fasting, after a point of time, your brain stops asking for food. So your that particular what do you say, part of your brain and body is like shut off for some hours, and suppose for a day. So your whole focus and energy will be converted to what are you doing, what are you thinking. Your thoughts will be much more powerful. Your thoughts and your manifesting power will be also very much powerful. Whatever you're working on, it will be much more focused, that okay, I will be much more focused on whatever I'm doing. I won't run here and there where I'm grasping for food or something like that. कि मुझे भूख लगी बीच में, या फिर I want to have this, I want to have this. Or in work I used to think about, okay, Mahavir Nagar mein if I'm having a Lokhandwala ka coffee or something like that. So all these thoughts come in between when you're working. So all these thoughts, that gets cut down, and you're more focused in your energy body level also. And continuously, it's in scientific level also, if you continuously fast for 3 days without any food, only warm water, okay, because warm water replaces your heat energy. So normally I'll tell you, a glucose molecule gets into 686 kilocalories of heat energy, and there is 38 ATPs, which ATPs go and become your your energy source for in mitochondria, and they become glycogen, or they get stored in terms of energy. Now this heat energy, which is mainly your glucose level, आपका food mainly heat बना रहा है. अगर आप वही गर्म पानी पी रहे हो, your heat energy is being replaced by that particular. So you don't need more food. You need only hot, like warm, lukewarm water, which is being already boiled, because there is a lot of energy in that particular boiling water. And then you calm it down, and you can drink it when it is cold. There's a lot of energy scientifically, and it's not about this India, but Indian ke fastings are being taken care by Max Planck Institute of Germany. So I was guiding one person in Max Planck Institute on Ekashnas, that you just have to give. So there were two mouses. One mouse was given, after 2 hours, every time you are eating some, you have been giving something or the other. And the second mouse was just been, fed for once, like for 1 hour. That's it. Continuous. He was given, some other food for 1 hour. He was like once a time. The results showed that the energy levels of that mouse who had just one time the food for one time was much more higher than the person who was having after every 2 hours. So you don't need food, because he is focusing on your all energy. The mouse is going to focus on whatever work he's doing, rather than because your that stomach genes have been shut for some time. You're giving rest to your stomach. Your that particular part is getting rested. Your liver is getting rested, your stomach is getting, your intestine is getting rested, and the rest other body and the energy of that particular area is now focused onto your brain and whatever you are doing. So even in meditation, or even in your heart pumping and everything.
Do you meditate as well?
Yeah, I have started doing it, but I have been doing what do you say, हमारे अंदर जो सामायिक बोलते हैं, that 48 hours 48 minutes of sitting and chanting things. So I do that, and actually study in that particular period also. So it's really good, and I feel that all these values of our previous generation, because they were ancient values, they were like scientists, they have been through a lot of things, they have also seen the journey of life, and they have also been experimenting everything, and they have written some things which are good for us. Yeah, we need to test in our conditions and our lives again, but yes, if some things are really working, like this fasting, meditating, then a lot of things, I've learned a lot during fasting, like simple living, high thinking, not using much material in your life, and you like creating less waste from your own lifestyle. That's what you need to do. If everyone does that, if all the 7-8 billion people are doing that, there'll be automatically less waste, and there'll be a good environment for the other generation. I think you don't have to work on sustainability as such. If you do all these principles, I think that's more than enough.
Most of the times simple things work, but we humans search for complex things.
Yes.
To because इतना easy हो कैसे क्या हो सकता है?
Actually, everything is so easy if you think. If you think of starting a company, you might be thinking, oh my God, company making and all that stuff, making a product or something like that. But I feel that if you really thought of something, it's very easy. It's a 2-day process. You make a company, then you solve that particular problem. Automatically you get, dolphins around you, and you get those. Once you are jumped into the sea, you will know how to swim. पहले कूदो तो सही एक बार. You will get sharks, but you will know how to tackle. You will get boats also to take you from one place to other. So I think one should jump first, and then automatically you will start swimming, and take other things up. So, and it's an experience. So you should, and life is all about experience. You have a lot of years to experiment on your life. That's what you want. You have come here for. Yeah.
What advice do you have for youngsters like me?
I would say that experiment. But with the experiment, you should also have, if your experimentation is successful in one pathway, you should go with that particular pathway on building it up. But at the same time, you should also keep on experiment on different things. So take experiences, make a journey which is, rememberable. Don't think of a perspective where your podcast is being named as that. Have your own perspective, have your own learnings, have your own decisions, and have your own what do you say, environment. If you want not, you don't want to become a watermelon, if you don't want to become a mango, but if you want to become a hybrid, you can become. So become a hybrid in your own terms. So I would say that, yeah, that's something, you should the millennials or Gen Z, and simple living, high thinking is something which we really need. uh Brands and all is like, okay, if you're having money, you are buying it, but then don't force other people to buy the same thing. So if I am rich, if I'm carrying this iPhone, I don't want everyone to have this just to take loans and, then get an iPhone. I have taken this from my own earnings. I have taken this because it is not for showcasing, but because it will last for around 5 to 7 years, and I can have only one phone rather than, spending on something which is like after 2 years I have to change the phone. So everyone has their own perspective, and everyone has their own purpose of buying things and, taking things. So don't copy someone. Just be yourself and take decisions according to your conditions and your life. So don't, Instagram, Facebook is showcasing a lot of things. You don't, it's not necessary to become like them. They might be telling, they will be there, their work is they are getting paid for, selling this iPhone. They're getting paid for, selling this product or something like that. That doesn't mean that you have to buy it. If you are convinced, if it is solving your problem, you buy it. That's the whole basic purpose of things. But people like do a lot of spontaneous buying on Instagram, and then they think, oh, why did I buy this? It was so much, cheaper, and some other, shops or something like that. So I feel that comparison, and don't do that. Like, don't compare your life with others. If you are having a life, make it worthwhile, live it differently, have a different perspective, and then showcase to other people that you can also have it. One, every example should be different rather than, having the herd. That's why we have brains, right? So that we can think differently, we can act differently. If you are having the same makeup on everyone, I don't think so it will be working on.
After a while, it will be a common thing
Yeah, that
and
will be
people
a
will
common
run after
thing.
something else.
Yes. So don't be a common from start itself. Why you're wasting your life to become like a common person? You have your own things, you have your own conditions, you can bloom and you can grow in your own conditions very well.
What is something people misunderstand about you?
They think that I'm having a lot of attitude. I have my own. I don't listen to people. I don't, the community. Suppose I'm being in a community and they're telling me to do something, and if I feel that it is wrong, or if I feel that, suppose drinking. Okay, in an entrepreneur world, drinking is very common, and I have been to London. I have been to Singapore. I've been to a lot of countries, and I travel almost every month. So I have my friends who are, who have taken the peer pressure, and, have started drinking and all. And I think all the Gen Z and everyone, they start drugs and taking all these peer pressure that, "Arey, try karo, try karo." I was like, I know, I don't want it. That's my values. I feel it should be common. If I'm not supposed, you are not going to include me only because I'm not drinking. I should be included because I am a participant of your values and thinking and process what you are saying and whatever you're doing. Suppose we are discussing about an entrepreneurship, we are discussing about a topic. It's not necessary that I should have a beer in my hand and then only I'm supposed to discuss. So I feel, and then you should have to take a stand for it. And now I think my friends and my people and the way I've explained things, they're very much comfortable. I go to places and people have stopped drinking and they have started, discussing. They've taken orange juices and everything and they have started discussing because they know that it's harmful for their body, and they were doing for because of peer pressure. So if I am standing for myself, there will be other people who wanted to stand for themselves, so they also get confidence in that. So I think you should be yourself. If you are identified, if you have some values that, okay, this is not permitted and is not good for myself and it's not good for the society, and I have taken a decision of not taking it and not consuming it, I should stand for it and I should be proud of it. And I should motivate, okay, this is the reason I am not doing it. It's your decision whether you want to take it or not. And if I am being a part of this whole company or conversation, it should be my thoughts who should be, and my speech which should be judged, not my clothes, not my looks, not my, what do you say, what I'm holding in a hand. Yeah, materialistic thing. I was actually being told once. I just went to the marriage. I was having my blazer on, and I just went to the marriage. And I always just said that because it was my friend's marriage and my family, this thing. She was like, "You don't know how to wear your clothes or what? Like this is like a marriage." I understand. I really understand that you should go. जैसे तुम्हारा हाँ to the traditional clothes if you are going you should dress accordingly. But that time it was my what do you say? Something happened like I just wanted to attend that thing and I just crashed it because I had no time. But then yeah, they respected me for because I came. My presence was more important to my friend rather than me, presenting in a sari or me being in a that particular. Of course, you go in that particular way. It should be it can be a cheap one or it can be a expensive one. It should not be judged. But the thing is that yeah, the presence matter. The aesthetic, your own presence, your own frequency, and your own thinking matters. Rather than I feel that nothing matters.
Same incident happened with me. We had a sofa at our house which was stone. So I asked my dad that we should replace the sofa. So dad told me that people come here not for the sofa but for me.
True, 100% true. So आप उसको सिला भी सकते हो.
Exactly.
Why to create a lot of waste in that environment plus spending so much of at least 20,000 rupees for a new sofa. जब वो चल सकता है. That's what my products do. If it should be like longer, जब तक it should be prevention is better than cure. So you prevent things to go in waste rather than curing it and replacing it with other things.
Shout out to Happy Toe. What was something that changed your perspective?
Okay. So I always, so as a kid, I would say that, I was very quiet. I was not that much talkative. I was very much confused with my own personality, whether I'm an extrovert or introvert. There was a girl who came in eighth standard, and she was very much talkative, and she used to have good personality. I used to be a scholar student, but she came to our school, and she used to be a lot of like she used to be talkative, and then she also used to have good percentage and everyone used to her friends jaldi ban jate the unke, and she was having her own charm, and I respect that, but I wanted to be like her. And I tried to be like her, like I can be talkative, I can have my charm, and I will try to attract people like that. But internally I was getting hollow because I am not that particular person, क्योंकि after a point of time मेरा खुद का सिर दुखता है अगर मैंने ज़्यादा बात कर ली तो
I hope आपका अभी दुखा है.
not like it's completely fine because I'm talking on a topic which I am interested in. Okay, if you're trying to attract people for no reason at all, then तभी माथा दुखता है कि अगर आप जबरदस्ती सेल्स कर रहे हो, जैसे मेरी दुकान पे बैठती थी, एंड समटाइम्स यू ट्राई टू सेल द थिंग्स एंड यू ट्राई टू ओवर सेल इट, तभी दुखेगा because you know that you are not doing it yeah naturally. So then I realized that this is something I feel that I should know myself, rather than copying that girl. Yeah, that girl is really good and she's like that only now, also she's like that, and she's a good friend of mine, but I've tried to copy her and that didn't work for me, and I feel that I should be different, I should be whatever. So I was going through MBBS, so everyone took MBBS because science liya, अच्छे percentage आया science liya, and then everyone was going for doctorate. Doctor, being a doctor, MBBS, I also jumped into the sea. But then at that particular time I felt that I have that personality of mine who asks questions, and I'm very much into asking questions. So there might be something, and I really didn't want it to cut, and I'm very much afraid of dissecting or something like that. So I wanted a very peaceful, because I know my nature. I am like very much sensitive, and I'm very much loving to animals, and I'm very much what do you say, I can't do dissection and everything, and I can't be strong to hold a knife and just cut or any emergency comes. I can be a good psychologist for sure. But yeah, that didn't I didn't wanted to do MBBS, and then I took a stand, and I studied. So I was studying at the time Jainism also, and Jainism had a lot of what do you say, microorganisms, and I was like, is there a subject? I was not even aware that microbiology exists like a subject. So I took a zoology. My subjects were what do you say, physics, zoology, and botany. But then when I entered into the college, then I thought that I was like, there is a microbiology subject, and they study microorganisms. I was like so excited. Then I just literally told principal that I have got really good marks in MHCT, and I was qualified for an MBBS, but I couldn't do MBBS, but I want to do microbiology because I think it's really exciting. Zoology is not my part. So I shifted from zoology to microbiology on the spot. and they were taking really rare seats. There were only 38 people who who got the seat. So and even in KM hospital there were only two seats for all over India. So I luckily got qualified in those two seats. So I've always taken decisions by analyzing. I talk to myself. I'm a pot thinker. I take a lot of time in pot. I keep on talking to myself. That's the best time I think I can. But I would suggest that to a public toilet. The people are gonna knock you off. But yeah, I love sitting in the pot ideally.
As far as they have your product.
Yeah, yeah, true. But yes, I really I think every person should talk to themselves, and pot thinker is something I wish to write a book on, and I would like to write my book if I'm anytime writing a book. That
We'll trademark that name.
yeah, so pot thinking is something I feel that you should talk to yourself whenever you're ideal. You should talk. You should ask questions to yourself. What exactly you are, exactly you want, how you want you to be looked like for yourself. People will see. Because people is not going to see what you are feeling. People, if some person is having bad thoughts, he's going to have bad thoughts because it's his thinking. If someone is having a positive approach towards their life, they will think about positive, that okay, this girl is doing something of her own, and she's trying to progress, and she's trying to experiment. If someone is with that particular nature, he's going to like, what is she's doing, she's mad or what, she's taking off the shelf and doing whatever she wants to do, maybe she's not going to be successful and all. So don't think of what people are going to think about you. Think of yourself, what you are going to think about yourself. Let people are going to judge you in what they think, how their thinking is. So I don't feel bad about anyone. To be frank, whoever, like 100,000 people must have commented on me, or have thoughts about me, or bad or good thoughts, but it's their thinking. What am I supposed to do? They have been brought up in that particular condition. Okay, not me. तो ऐसा होता है ना, तुम्हारी सोच गंदी है, तुम्हारी प्रॉब्लम है, मेरी प्रॉब्लम नहीं है वो. And that should be applied to everyone's life. You should, and I am confident because I have thought about myself in a confident way, and I'm happy what I am. So yes, I have to deal with some few society things and all that stuff, but I feel at the end I'm happy because I'm confident. I can fight because I am confident.
सोच के भी कितना देर सोचेगी, like फर्क
हाँ.
तो कि
What is their role in our life? How they are shaping our life? It should be shaped by us. ठीक है. अगर कोई एक कारपेंटर, suppose this is a very good thought, just now it came in my mind. अगर एक person was an artist, okay, वो अगर पत्थर से कुछ बना रहा है, and he has some picture in his thought, and he is trying to carve that thing. But if 100 people are telling them कि यहाँ से थोड़ा पतला करो, यहाँ से थोड़ा झाड़ा करो, then it's never going to be that art of his, like his art or something like that. It's going to be something like very bhadda out of it. Like that going to be like, this is your life. Basically, you have a life like a stone, and you have to be the carpenter over it, rather than people telling you यहाँ से पतला करो, यहाँ से झाड़ा करो, या फिर यहाँ से shaping करो. It's going to be something else only, which you don't even have the picture of, which is going to be, can be worst and can be good also, but most of the time it will be worst. So I think you have a picture in your life. You have that particular little bit of parchai of what you want to be, or what you want to carve in your stone. So I think you should go with that feeling. You should listen to everyone, but don't follow everyone. So आप ये नहीं बोल सकते, सबको चुप नहीं करा सकते हो आप. But you should listen. Okay, you are telling this. Okay, I should drink. I should be in this particular form, or I should be looking good looking, and should do something with my hair and all that stuff. Listen to everyone, but at the end, process it, filter it for yourself, and then whatever advice you want to take it. Whatever you don't want to, leave it. Even for me, for this podcast itself, if some advices might not be good for you, just filter it for your own conditions and terms and conditions. So yeah, it should be like that.
You were at IIT Bombay yesterday, so somebody said, I think Biswa said that लोग आपके बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, अच्छा भी बात कर रहे हैं and बुरा भी बात कर रहे हैं. As long as वो बात कर रहे हैं, वो अच्छा है आपका.
हाँ.
And आपके प्रोडक्ट की भी मार्केटिंग हो रही है, so
True.
It's good.
100% true. So yes, people are going to talk about, on their perspective. And it's good for you. At least they're talking about you. You're becoming famous. I always think I'm not a celebrity, but I always think, okay, let me think like I'm a celebrity. Like 100 comments go to, a heroine or hero or something or the other. They know what their life is, and they're running it and they're happy in it. So It's there, like, how celebrities think that, nothing comes on. I want to shape my life. I want to select some movie. I want to be doing this. I will do it rather than anyone else judging on me. So I think, yeah, be a celebrity in your life.
You have your own story. Be the the center part of the movie, the character, the best character of the movie. What are your future plans of Silvery Nanos?
Silvery Nanos. Okay, so I have this concept over Happy Toe. Basically, I want to make more brands in terms of what do you say? Happy Toe is going to be one brand where they have 14 products, but we have a lot of projects. So I have more two patents right now going on. Where one is on the sewage management. So I'm going to take it that in Silvery Nanos itself, and I'm going to sub part it. Then there is one on what do you say, on the milk side of the vegan side and all. So I'm going to create more products. So basically, my expertise is in innovation and to take or to make it the product to a product market fit. So I know how to fit I know the problem in the market. I'll recognize this. I'll make a product and I'll fit it onto in terms of patent or in terms of whatever as a product, and then I can sell it to someone or the other, or I can try to sell it through a point, and then if someone takes it up, well and good. So something like that, yeah. So because I know my expertise, I am not a good salesperson. I'm not going to go and sell things, and I'm not good in D2C also. If someone else is taking for me, well and good. I'll be in my position of innovation, because if not me, no one else can innovate. If I'm doing everyone's work, who will do my work? Yeah, I'm good at, I will try my things to an extent, but then I should know my niche is innovation, so I will stick to innovation.
Thank you for this wonderful
My pleasure.
conversation.
So I have my own perspective. So yeah, I don't judge. So take it in a relativistic way. Even if I've said something, some people must have taken in a negative one, or yeah, anyway. But it's my perspective, what I have been through, and what my conditions or my environment was, and I have judged things in that particular way. So I always take my life into a relativistic way. No one is wrong or no one is right. They are in their own life. So, yes, I think that this podcast will also go in a relativistic way. Whatever I've said should be taken into a relativistic way and not to be a non-judgmental way. So, yeah, I'm really proud that, you guys are doing really well. And I hope that this podcast, goes really good and you get more perspectives in different lives. And I'll listen to it.
Thank you for this wonderful conversation. It was a great perspective. Thank you for watching and do subscribe to our channel.